Hey everybody, John BTV Digger here. I'm out of another one of my favorite sites here. It's a big park in town where I found a ton of stuff through the years. We're going to give one of my other secret places another go today. It's slightly raining a little bit, so I'll have to see how long I can go here. And I'm going to try something a little bit different. Let me show you here. I'm going to go with my Tesoro Silver UMAX. This is a little bit of a thinking out of the box with this one. I have no tone ID and no target ID. It's just knobs, so you can discriminate out iron and stuff like that. But I've had some success with this machine in the past because it generally detects a little bit deeper than the F2 from what I can tell. So we're going to give this Silver UMAX a shot, and I'm going to go back to some old stomping grounds and see if I can find a few more relics. If you look back up in the woods here, there's an old rock wall and there's a cellar hole about 200 or 300 yards that way. So we'll kind of mosey on our way down that way and kind of poke around in some of the places I've found some stuff in the past and see what we can find. All right, on to the next find. Let's see what we can get. Alright, first good target in the hole, about 10 minutes in. I'm only about a couple hundred yards down the trail where I just walked in, and I got something I think pretty good here, ringing up a pretty decent small tone right in there somewhere. Let's see if I can, there we go. Got that. Awesome. Look at that. An old skeleton key. That's a sweet find. Brass or iron or something like that. A little beaten up. It's got a gash in it there. Hopefully I didn't do that. I don't think so. Alright, kind of tiny too. Doesn't look like maybe a front door key. Maybe a little skeleton key to some other sort of apparatus. But that's cool. I'll take that any day. Alright, on to the next. Alright, back up the hill from the cellar hole. Kind of toward the edge of the back part of the property. I've had good results checking along this old rock wall. I don't know, there's some breaks in here, like right here, like maybe they let animals through or something. And it's been about maybe a half an hour since I found that old skeleton key. Still using the Silver UMAX, and I think I see something nice and round in the hole, guys. Let's come in here real slow. You see that right there? I think I may have a large coin. Let's take a look. No, it's not a large coin. Got another washer. You know, I found an old railroad tag in this kind of general vicinity before. I'll be damned. That's not another railroad tag. Oh, that is freaking awesome. Much better than a large set. The first railroad tag, if you remember seeing my 2015 finds of the year, was an old Rutland and Burlington railroad tag. And this is a freaking another one. Holy crap. That's another $75 in my pocket at least right there, guys. That is killer. I can't make out the actual number. Oops. Let's pick that back up again. These brass tags are kind of corroded. 6273, maybe? That's weird. That rings a bell. That almost, if I recall correctly, I think that may be the same damn number that my other tag was. Why would they have the same number? I don't know. That is a cool tag. Old. The first one, if you remember, was from like 1850 to 1870, something like that. I'll have to look. Awesome find. Old Rutland and Burlington railroad luggage tag from the Civil War period. All right, let's go find some more goodies. That Silver UMAX is doing really good right now. On to the next. All right, and the next find here, a high conducting small target, about 4 or 5 inches, right there. Let's see what we got. Got it? Nope, it's a rock. Rock, come on. Oh, there you go. It's an old thimble. Smashed one. Not bad though. Can't tell. I have to clean it up and see if I can get a maker's mark or if it's just one of those plain ones. There's guys out there, if you pay them money, they'll actually straighten stuff up like this for you. But it's, you know, something of lesser value like this I would never pay for. But I guess if you found something really valuable, you could ship it off to some of these guys that I've got some contact numbers from some of my forums, and they'll straighten stuff out like this for you. But anyway, an old thimble, another nice old relic from 1800s period. All right, let's see if we can find some more stuff. It's starting to rain here. You may see some water drops on my camera. I don't know how long I'll be able to go. But hopefully we can find a few more good things, maybe some coins, who knows. All right, on to the next. Here's a cool find, guys. You're walking through the woods, looking for cellar holes. I think you come upon a foundation, and then you see something like this, and you know you're close to goodies. Look at the size of that well, and look how deep that sucker is. Normally you find these things covered up with a log or a big rock. This one's uncovered. Be very careful around these. You don't want to fall in there. Now, I'm a pretty good sized guy. I'm 6'3", 230 or something like that. So it'd be hard for me to fall in that. But man, a small child or something like that, boy, you could be in real trouble, or an animal. Really cool how the pioneers would dig these wells, really without any machinery. I mean, the house here was built in 1830 or something like that. So that's about the time of this well. Really cool old find. Thought I'd show you that. Okay, let's find ourselves some stuff. All right, guys, at a new permission site today. Site of an old blacksmith shop or general store of some sort. Public property, just on the fields. I've been here about 15 minutes. I've dug a part of a harmonica reed and an Oneida stainless steel spoon that's actually very modern. Odd, somebody must have been picnicking out here. There are some homes on the road nearby. I got my first good signal, and I think I see something pretty good in the hole, and let's take a look at where it is. Right there. And I see something round, guys. What do we got? Oh yeah. Engine, baby. That's a shout out to Kurt and the Hoover boys. Heck yeah. First coin of the day is an Indian. 1 cent on the back. Wow, it looks black. Look, it's been in a fire or something. Can't tell. 1890. Yeah. 1890 something. There's like the last digits. It's gonna be hard to figure out. I'll have to get it cleaned up. But hey, good start. Indian head penny. Let's go find some more, guys. All right, next find here. Right there, medium tone. An old relic here. Looks like I got myself an old spoon handle. Could be decorative, could not be. I'm not sure. Broken off. That's old though. Certainly 1800s. Yeah, you can see the old kind of clover leaf, or not even clover leaf, the little curved design right there on the top. So I'd put it probably mid to late 1800s on that. Not a bad little relic. Okay, guys, on to the next. And the hole for that pewter spoon was right there. That old spoon handle was right there. Mid to high tone right next to it, literally like a foot away. And I got myself a wheat cent. 1 cent. You see that there? And the date, who knows? Let's see if we can get a date for you. Hold on just a second. Let me rub it off on my jeans here. There we go. Looks like the date, if that thing will focus, looks like date is 1937. All right, wheat cent. I'll take it. Let's get another Indian, guys. On to the next find. Well, I've moved into the woods a little bit out of the fields. Again, along an old road here. Still a public road, but basically abandoned. This was a pain in the rear to find this cellar hole. In fact, there is no cellar hole. It's just an imprint of a barn foundation. And from what I can make it, there's not even a cellar hole or a well. It's just a pile of kind of general rocks here. And the target's a lot of iron in the ground here, so I knew there was something. I was about where the old house site was. Who knows what happened here? Maybe a long time ago they've logged it, which most of the forests in Vermont have done, and they just filled in the original hole. I don't know. I've been here about 20 minutes or maybe even a half an hour. Dug a couple iron nails and a modern memorial penny, if you can believe that. But I finally got a decent mid-tone, and let me see if I can hold the camera steady, and we'll come down here and look what it is. I think I've got a button right there, and I honestly think it may be a good button. Take a look. I think I've got an eagle, baby. Yep. And that's an older eagle. That's 1800s for sure. And it's a two-piece. It looks like the back partly is coming off. But I will get that cleaned up. I can hold it down in the sun here for a minute. Let's see if we can get it a little bit better. You can kind of see it there. So very cool. Early, probably General Service Eagle button, Civil War to late 1800s, something like that, before the turn of the century. Let's go find some more stuff, guys. On to the next. And I'm just going to come back real quick for you guys, because after I closed the last shot there, I brushed it off with my toothbrush. It's an infantry button. Probably Civil War infantry, late 1800s. See the eye there in the middle of the eagle. That is an awesome find. I've only found one of those in the past of the actual infantry buttons here in the woods. So I will take that any day and I'll clean it up more and show you in the wrap up. All right, guys, let's get going on to the next. And my next hole here, pretty common find, but a pretty good size one. Nice brass buckle. Only about 5 inches down. That one rang up really loud. That was kind of hard to miss. I'll take that off. It's actually in pretty good shape, so it doesn't look tremendously old. I mean, turn of the century, something like that. If they're much older than that, these iron shapes will be, or iron tongues will be really corroded. But I'll take that nonetheless. Nice brass buckle. On to the next. Okay, here we are back for the wrap up. I'll make this pretty quick and just go over the finds I've found over the past week or so, 10 days. And we'll go from the least to the worst, I guess. Old spoon handle. Some of those I have yet to clean up, so we'll put that down there. A nice brass buckle. Do a little electrolysis on that, and that should come out nice and shiny. And a couple other items I didn't have in the filming that I decided to lug out of the woods. This guy right here, this is a Drury brick. The Drury Brick Company was in Essex Junction from the mid-1800s through the turn of the 20th century, and shortly thereafter they made a lot of bricks across the northern Champlain Valley. I'm not certain how far their distribution was, but the factory was only about a mile from my house, and this was found in a cellar hole way back in the woods. You can buy these actually online pretty cheap. There's still some around, but I thought that was interesting that I found that actually in the foundation of an old home. So I lugged that guy out of there with the actual Drury name on it. That was cool. And then I also lugged this guy out of here. This is a small door to a wood stove that was found actually the same hole as that brick was. And so it's not tremendously large, so I decided to throw it in the backpack. I'm about halfway through electrolysis on it. Still got a ways to go. My electrolysis tank right there has done me quite well. And I thought that was a keeper. No maker's mark on this. I thought that after I electrolyzed it all out, I'd get a maker's mark, but nothing on that. It's just plain. So that was actually a nice little find. And let's see what else we got. 1937 wheat penny, toasty 1896 Indian. And then on to some of the better finds here. I've got my nice skeleton key. Smaller one. I don't think this went to the front door of the house. I think this was probably went to some sort of smaller machinery or maybe an old tractor. Who knows? House was there from the 1860s through about the turn of the 20th century and it was gone. So probably only one generation of people lived there. Was not on the 1919 map. So I don't know. But I always loved those little skeleton keys. And then probably the best two finds. I'm not sure you could argue either way what the better find is. One certainly is more valuable than the other, but in terms of historical stuff, I love them both. Eagle Officer's Infantry button. This is an officer's button. If you look in the Albert's button book, I think it's a GI 85 or a GI 91. Basically 1850 until they made the Great Seal buttons about 1902. So you could argue mid to late 1800s. Whether this was a Civil War uniform button or not, it's hard to tell. I did look back at the family names that were on the cellar hole, and I couldn't make a positive identification that this person actually was in the Civil War. But you never know. If I did a little more research, I might be able to find that out. But again, officer's infantry button from mid to late 1800s. Very nice find. And the back is kind of corroded, so it kind of fell apart, and the little, I can put that out there, the little shank is still intact, but it actually is fallen out of the button there. So nonetheless, quite a keeper. And then I guess this is probably my most valuable find. Another Rutland and Burlington Railroad tag, 1850 to 1870 from the early Rutland and Burlington Railroad. That was the early precursor to the Rutland Railroad before they changed their name in 1869. And this is really cool because you know what? I was correct. Let me go over here. This was the one that you may have remembered on my 2015 finds of the year. I ranked pretty high. And look at this, guys, an exact match. In fact, one of them has got, the new one's got the star on it, and then this one does not have a star on it. So I'm not exactly sure, was this the original tag and this was the railroad tag? Because you'd use them just like baggage check claims today in the airlines. You know, you'd have your tag and then the railroad would have their tag, and then you would match them and they'd give you your luggage back. Or maybe they gave two identical tag numbers to two separate bags. I'm not sure. I contacted a collector on these. He said they're worth anywhere between about 130 to 160 bucks for the pair. I'm not selling them. They're too cool. I'll take that over a crusty relic any day just because you can read everything. So very good. Nice finds here for the last week or two, and I will take those any day. Again, some more electrolysis on this guy. All right, everybody. I appreciate you spending some time with me on these hunts, and we'll be back soon with some more round objects and relics and everything else from the woods. Until next time, happy hunting. This is BTV Digger.